Charley Longfellow had always sought adventure. As a young boy, his mother Fanny declared that he would become a man of action, and her predictions proved to be true. By the time he was 26, he had already traveled across Europe, the Caribbean, parts of North Africa, and India. It was hardly surprising that Japan was next on the itinerary. He had dreamed of going for years. With that spontaneous telegram to his father, his dreams were finally coming true. The Japan Charley found himself in was one of rapid flux. A devastating civil war had only ended a few years before, and the newly established Meiji government was implementing far-reaching societal reforms. Though Charley had planned to only stay for a few weeks, he grew so enamored with the country and its people that he stayed for almost 2 years. Arriving in Yokohama on June 25, 1871, his early experiences in Japan mirrored those of many vacationers, visiting popular tourist destinations, shopping for curios and photographs, and exploring the local nightlife. Unlike many other white American writers of the time, Charley reveals an equal regard for the people of Japan in his journals. Yet his observations are still those of a privileged outside observer, and stand in contrast to his racist commentary on those he met in other parts of the world. In Japan, Charley's warmer interactions were still marked by the power that his racial, economic, and celebrity statuses afforded him. With a famous family name and a small fortune he was willing to spend, Charley had many doors open to him. He befriended prominent Meiji officials and former samurai, and charmed his way into the social circle of the U.S. Minister to Japan, Charles DeLong. Charley became DeLong's secretary, gaining an audience with the emperor himself, and being invited on a cross-country tour of Japan. The expedition was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Charley was one of the first Americans to travel much of the route. His journals from the expedition are filled with observations about the religious and cultural differences he noticed, and his eagerness to learn more. Charley immersed himself in Japanese culture, spending over a year studying the language. His interest in history is reflected in his journals, which are filled with detailed descriptions of battles and legends he mostly got right. He was one of the first Americans to buy a house in Tokyo. It was built in a traditional Japanese style, with a few features from back home. His friends were frequent visitors to the house, including a young woman named Ichikawa Hana, or as he affectionately called her, Ohana-san. Charley may have fathered a child with her, and though Hana herself appears frequently in his photographs, she was never mentioned in any of his letters home. Charley loved the new life he built for himself in Tokyo, but he was clearly unwilling to share much of it with his family in Cambridge. He was also unwilling to share news of the numerous tattoos he acquired. He already had a few when, in 1872, tattoos were banned and declared uncivilized by the Meiji government. In response, Charley, who was always eager to push boundaries and defy the moral norms of the day, got a large carp tattooed on his back. As historian Christine Guth wrote, he was obviously making a statement, and was always something of an exhibitionist. What he was willing to share was souvenirs, thousands of them. His family received everything imaginable, from furniture to clothing to art, screens, and fans. Many of these objects are still on display throughout the house. Charley's time in Japan invites important discussions about the nature of appreciation versus appropriation. Where exactly does the Longfellow family fall? Despite his attempts to put down roots in Japan, Charley's opulent lifestyle and carefree spending habits put him over $18,000 in debt. With no other options, Charley was forced to leave in March of 1873, eventually returning to Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1875. For a man always looking ahead to the next big adventure, his journals and letters from this period show something new. Here was a Charley who couldn't stop looking back. I have spent 3 weeks since my arrival in one round of dinner parties, concerts, private theatricals, etc. This gaiety is all very well in its way, but give me back my quiet, free life in Japan. Lots of love to all. Keep sending my letters to Yokohama, as I may any day return there. Charley returned 2 more times. While he spent the rest of his life traveling the world, it seems as though Japan was the place he found a home. Whether it's visiting Grandma or climbing Mount Everest, what's your most life-changing adventure?